Attention! Trekyards on deck. Captain Foley here.
John Collins, and we're not in uniform, but that's okay. It's casual Tuesday.
Well, I expect them all to be in uniform. We don't have to be with the command staff.
If you're not, pause, put it on. Okay, great, thank you. Continue.
Today we're talking uniforms, specifically Discovery Season 4 uniforms. We got a great teaser, well, not even a teaser, we got a trailer for Season 4 of Discovery coming later this year in August. And surprisingly, we got some new visuals as far as uniforms go.
And Stuart, it was kind of a boom! Uniforms. What? Go, go, go! Not just like, look, here's a new shot. It's like, nope, everywhere.
If they wanted to be real clever, they could have color graded them all to gray again and surprised us when they actually released the show.
Yes, they could have. That would have been a lot of work, though, to be fair. So what did you think, then? What was your reaction after seeing these uniforms? And I'm sure I'll ask you tonight as well. But then what do you think?
My gut reaction was, why didn't you do this from the beginning? The era you were set in, these uniforms would have been fine because it would have fit with the TOS aesthetic of the colored uniforms. Although command here is red instead of yellow. Obviously the TOS colors are not the same colors as they are now, so that's fine. But it definitely has more of a TOS feel to it now, which is weird because they're in the future. I don't know how I feel about it. It does they do very much look like, concierge, somebody that takes your bags at the hotel, or maybe a McDonald's employee. I've seen comparisons to that, especially with the yellow and the red side by side. It's like, oh, yeah. The colors don't quite have that monster maroon vibe to them that I think they should. If you want to go with that color, or even the what we see in TNG, I don't think it's quite the same. But I'm happy. Because, as we said at the end of our season 3 review, where we saw them on the bridge with these new gray uniforms, they get lost in the background. And we're like, are they going to redo the sets? Like, what are they going to... They figured it out. They redid the uniforms. It's probably a lot cheaper to do. So I'm happy they made the decision, but I still don't know how I feel about it. What did you think seeing these? Like, were you surprised?
Oh, very surprised. I mean, they made the entire end moment of season 3, every number except 3, is these uniforms, and we gave a lot of praise because they look fundamentally massively better than Discovery ones, massively better, and they look good for everybody throughout the entire season. Pretty much, we got to see everyone in different colours, and it was very satisfying. So seeing them completely change them again is surprising. And yes, we talked about the sets. Surely it makes more sense to change the sets, which is a ship that has been refitted, to a better color palette that fits better, that's redesigned, than the uniforms, which then are going to be for everybody everywhere. Whereas change the set, because I'm very surprised at that point they decided to do that. I'm wondering, we have seen this when we looked at remember when Yor arrived in Discovery, the future J.J. Abrams universe Sky in TNG costume. The trailer shot was bland. The final episode was color graded and moody and dark. So it was pre-color grading. I'm wondering if this is pre-color grading because the colors look very odd to me. Mostly, I'm amazed how bright they are. They look kind of funny. And they stand out as inorganic comedy uniforms that there's a picture of the three of them on the bridge. You've got Washington, you've got Burnham, you've got Book, and Radiant back. It looks like someone's photoshopped it like I did once. And it looks exactly that silly because they are far too bright. And I've got a picture of the TNG uniforms here, and same colours, perfectly muted and balanced. These are unbelievably bright, and they don't look as good as the original uniforms. That's what I'm going to say now. I think just side by side, Burnham in this with the captain's uniform with the red stripe to her and Captain Red, she looks much better in the grey. I think it looks much cleaner, sleeker, and professional. The red looks bright, garish, and a little bit comical. That's my gut, honestly, Stuart.
No, that speaks volumes, actually. I think the same thing about the yellow uniforms. The red is more good for me, and the blue one on Stamets looks fantastic.
Yeah, blue
also Hughes.
Yeah,
with the white with the stripe, it looks again amazing.
Yeah, that white probably looks better as a balance. Then it looks more to the original Discovery for sure. Yeah.
Well, one of the issues we had with season 3 was okay, you refitted the ship. You guys are now part of the future crew. Why haven't you gotten the new uniforms? And remember, seeing that last episode, I was like, oh, that's why, because they look like crap on your sets. So I'm glad they kind of held off on that till the end. But I've seen things online saying, well, those were just formal dress uniforms. No, not everybody at Starfleet HQ is going to be wearing those all the time. So that argument's out the window.
Yeah, that was an absurd argument. Clearly, they're the standard issue.
It seems like there was a bit of a time jump between the end of season 3 and season 4. Like it could be a year or so where they've undergone some changes as far as uniforms and other things go.
Well, remember, this is the new Federation. They've now got dilithium. So I'm not judging the lack of, like, the fact that they are now pushing forward, kind of like the vibe that we have been given from the Picard Nemesis style, which is the grey, and then now the first uniform after that in the Picard era is back to the bright colours. Beautiful, great. Symbolises that back to exploration. And so if that is a big symbology we're going to get, love it. And it's clearly harkening to TNG roots, because none of the other uniforms are this bright and this fully fleshed out in terms of colour. And even with that black colour combination, that's it. That's the TNG ones. So I'm not against that, and certainly the grey looks more militaristic. This does not feel militaristic at all. Like, at all. I don't know about you, but again, the red is just like, it's not military. But it's not a military outfit. So these aren't criticisms, they're just pure visuals, and I'm wondering what the colour grade's like, because I would be shocked if that's the final yellow for Roshicum. It's a really weird yellow. Like, it feels like a brighter, blown out TOS that is not the right colour for the post TNG, any of those other things. They're much darker, much richer. Doesn't feel right.
Maybe it's actually green when you see it in person.
Wow.
Now, yeah, the color grading is interesting, because I remember seeing the trailer for the one where we see Yor, the future, the Kelvin warrior guy. It was a different yellow to what we got in the final one, and you preferred the first one we saw because it was more subdued. They brightened it up for the final, which didn't quite match the TNG look. So that's interesting. I do have the feeling that that might be the case. They got this filmed, but they haven't done all of the final passes, because it's still, like, August is still a while away. So
it's fair. It is remarkably polished as a trailer. Very big congratulations to the team. But you don't do that stuff until post or until final. And just if you go to Roshicum's, I love doing the side by side. It's kind of great to see. Like, it's a nice, like, stark. Ooh, the difference. But even though I have brightened them in post, you can tell the orange is deeper and more orange on the other one. This is clearly a brighter yellow. Even if they're in a brighter sunlight situation, you can tell the shading is different. But one was a final element and one was a work in progress. I'm still blown away they haven't fixed the comm badges and made them anti-reflective. I don't know what that was such an obvious thing to do, and I'm surprised. It's very easy, and the fact in every single one of these shots, the delta's lost, except one. It's weird. It's weird.
No, it's easy. It's easy to dull something down. Just a quick of dull coat on top of it. You're done. It looks great. But it's future shiny reflective material, Samuel. It's not the old school material, I guess.
It's just sad, because if you look, the older version of the Burnham's gold is beautiful, like Pops isn't too reflective. Although, again, it is a darker scene, but the two Burnhams, it looks to me they've toned down the accoutrements as well, because they don't pop at all. There's no gold vibe in them. I know she's lit darker, but hence colour grading, you never know what's being pulled out of the scene. Now, what do you think, then, to swap the striped being just a black?
I like the black. It's more of a contrast, I think. That being said, their little neck things are like a dark gray with gold. So I don't know if there was maybe... Again, these could be toned down from black to maybe a darker gray in color grading. I don't know if that's possible, but I have no problem with the black. I kind of like the black, honestly, because that ties in as well with the black pants in TOS, the black under part of the shirts in TNG. Like, it's got that carryover, because the gray kind of came out of nowhere, but it was future, so it's fine. But yeah, I think tying the black in makes any color pop a little bit better. It gives it a better accent. So
although the grey pops, the red pops more on the grey, because it's such a stark contrast. So actually it pops, I mean, the red pops more now on the new jacket, but of course it's more poppier red. I think now in total, again, look at the two Burnhams. Again, she's lit slightly differently, but the uniform now just feels a whole grade darker. So while it's got the bright color of being the future, it's now got the darker shades of being a more blood future. Whereas the other one, it's grey, but it's bright and it pops and it feels a positive spin on the lighter thing. Now that said, obviously the every uniform's different. The yellow feels very positive and the blue has a nice balance. Although I do think the collar and now that box is getting lost because now all the colours are different. Whereas previously the grey and the black, great contrast, it works very well. Now it changes with each uniform colour, so now they vary in how lost they are. The blue, you can't even see really the top neck badge, which now feels more and more odd the more we're seeing it. Whereas the red and yellow, especially the yellow, certainly does pop. Although I'm kind of wishing that collar was black, or black and then had like a rim of red, like the TNG. I think having that would have improved it a ton.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. A pinstripe of color on the top. Yes.
Yeah, TNGS. Just kind of give that color push, and then let the collar, or even like a dark, or maybe like maybe double pinstripe red, a little bit of grey as well to help the middle thing pop. I don't know. It just feels like it's all getting lost a little bit.
To be fair, the best color for me is the white one, hues.
Oh, it's great. Beautiful.
I would love to see hues for all of them, but with like the colored division stripe, would be kind of neat. Although, unfortunately, we still have the asymmetry, which they seem to love in their costume designs for some reason, with the bottom of the shirts or the jackets being, one side longer than the other one at the front. Not really my thing, and at least it's not the collar. It's not as noticeable because there's a lot more, torso shots than there are full body probably. So I much prefer that as a choice than the collar that we got for the first couple seasons. So.
It's just remarkable, again, compared to the TNG picture, how these colours feel so balanced inside the scene, and then you cut to the long shot and they all feel garishly overdone. And I know that's what the costume designer said in the interview, that yes, they realised when they got on set the costumes just don't work with the sets. But why are the sets the same? This design represents an 800-year-old ship. Why is Starfleet allowing them to still use that 800-year-old internal art design? Guys, come on, this is season 4. Build a new bridge set. It's a terrible bridge set for what it was and what it still is. Just design a new thing, and then keep. It amazes me that they would allow. I mean, unless the Discovery gets destroyed or the bridge gets destroyed, and that's part of the reveal again. Like that will be another payoff. But it's just, why would you let them use this old bridge design? It makes no sense to me.
There is one image here of Detmer where, I don't know if it's a fade between two images or whatever, but you can see two different color tones and a nice dividing line. I know it's not on the uniform itself, obviously, but it just shows you what color grading can do. Like the bottom is the comical kind of satirish I work at McDonald's look. The top with the more subdued is much more, it feels like it would work a lot better,
Crisper.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a happy accident.
I don't know how color grading works or how easy it is to do.
Extremely.
Oh, there you go. There's the answer, guys.
Extremely easy. But there you go, guys. The uniforms, not what we were expecting. And I think we cannot judge until we finally see the episode, because the colours will change. And the vibe will change. That is always the case. Any closing thoughts for you, Stuart? Because I am just surprised.
I am also surprised. But my closing thought is I would like a double cheeseburger with fries and a Coke. I don't mean to make a joke out of it, but they do look kind of McDonald's employees. Anyway, that being said, hit that like button, guys. And don't forget to join us for our lives. We do a lot of great live discussions and things. So to be a part of that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell icon to all so you get notified when we do upload and when we do the lives, because we love having you guys around. Put in the comments what you think as well. Interaction is important, and we love hanging out with you guys in the chat and just watching the comments come in. So do it.
And if you can also do by super chatting, that'd be super essential, super helpful, super amazing. If you can't, don't worry. But if you can, please do during those lives. And if you just want to support us, PayPaling, Patreoning, all the links down below. They all make a massive difference. You know what we do, guys, on the new Trek shows. We cover them in depth. No one else does it in this depth, which we love in terms of video form. If you want to see more, we do need that support, because there is still months till August. So if you want to help us keep going till then, and then support us when we're going, then do if you can. Or just keep watching, like, and subscribing. That helps the analytics too. Thanks in advance.
That's right. So until next time, with new content, new trailers, new news, we're Trekyards. See you later.
Bye, guys.